Your Side is celebrating 100 years of Naval Station Norfolk. Over the last 10 decades, there have been ups and downs between the world's largest Navy base and the city. Tonight on Your Side's Deanna LeBlanc talked to a local historian who helped put it all into perspective, Deanna.
Yeah, tonight we're taking a look at that deep, rich relationship between the city of Norfolk and the United States Navy. It's one that started 100 years ago and one that the city is working to preserve to ensure another century of partnership. It was 100 years ago, July 1st, that the Navy broke ground on what would become Naval Operating Base, later Naval Station Norfolk. But if you ask the city's historian, she makes a compelling argument the true birth of the relationship between Norfolk and the Navy started much earlier.
In 1794, there was an order for 6 battleships, wooden battleships, to be built for a new Navy, the first United States Navy. And one of those ships, the Chesapeake, was built right here in the Norfolk Portsmouth Harbor at Gosport Navy Yard.
Over the years, the relationship, like all long-lasting ones do, had some bumps in the road. Post-World War I, for example, McPhillips says not all residents were happy with the influx of sailors.
East Main Street was just elbow to elbow with tattoo parlors and honky-tonks and bars and beer joints and that sort of thing, and I don't think Norfolk really liked to see that happen.
But the population boom brought good news for the city too. Norfolk was going to shut down its streetcars when suddenly they were in high demand once again, as was a place for a sailor to lay his head.
They had what they called hot beds, where people would rent a room and they would rent it. One person would stay there during the daytime if they worked at night, and then somebody else would stay there at night if they worked in the daytime.
As decades went by, the relationship flourished, as did the surrounding areas. Homes were built, city limits expanded, and suburbs began to take shape.
Especially after World War II, when so many people came in to either as military or civilian war workers, and they stayed after the war in some of our suburbs.
It's a relationship the city and the Navy have worked tirelessly to preserve. The two now sort of depend on one another.
We have naval personnel who've coached our little league teams. They go to our churches, they serve on commissions. I think they've enriched us in so many ways that we may not even be aware of.
The Navy's the thread that ties so many families like ours to this region.
Elaine Laria served 20 years in the Navy. She and her husband Robert Blondin did what the city wishes all couples would do, decide to stay put after military retirement. The couple even opened up a local business, the Mermaid Factory. And Robert now serves on the city's Naval Station Norfolk Centennial Commission. They're working to honor the century-long relationship with a massive mural, a tribute to the Navy on the Bank Street garage in the city's downtown.
So right here on this very large building, there will be a permanent remembrance of this 100 years.
And of course, the relationship could be tested once again as the Navy and city work together to lead the fight against sea level rise. But together, the two might be able to endure almost anything.
Norfolk and the Navy, I can't imagine one without the other.
Now, most of the pictures you've seen in our reports and you saw on the screen there behind the historian's head are available. If you want to check them out, just walk into the Slover Library in downtown Norfolk. They're digital. You can even take pictures of the codes and import them right into your cell phone. I'm Deanna LeBlanc, 10 on Your Side.